Hi guys, welcome to my longevity talk. So for those who haven't met me before, my name is Grundy. I'm a member of the New Zealand Association of Medical Herbalists, and I'm also a member of the American Herbalist Guild. I specialise in Western herbal medicine, natural and nutritional health. I'm a 3-star longevity executive, or for the old school, that's the old president marketing director. I'm an independent distributor, just like everybody else on this call. I don't work for corporate. I am just a successful longevity entrepreneur who has done extremely well sharing Dr. Wallach's message. So today we're just going to do a bit of a brief intro again on my talk today. So my talk today is on healthy bone and joints. So I'll just start with the basics again, introducing the plant minerals and various other things, and we move on to hard joints. So our minerals, remember where they come from. They come from the ground. The best source of minerals is through our plants. And so as minerals break down in the soil, bacteria starts to eat away at the minerals and all the other organic matter. And as rain and as the environment start to erode these minerals, they turn into a water-soluble mineral. Okay, and as they're broken down, then they're absorbed up into the plant, and they're absorbed as a mineral. And of course, we then eat the plant. There is 3 steps to good health. So these are steps that Dr. Wallach has helped or created to help us understand our health better, so we don't need practitioners. Okay, and so he's identified health in 4 groups: hard tissue, soft tissue, digestion, and blood sugars. And so we identify the category, we use the appropriate pack, and we sort our diet. So step 1, we identify the pack. So there is a sheet that your upline should have given you that helps you decide which pack to take. On this sheet, it's broken into 4 categories. And this one, hard tissue, and you just go through and you mark down your score for that day. Any of these niggly problems are hindering you, then give it a value and then mark it down, then total it. Okay, so this is how we work out what's wrong with us. So we got the healthy tissue, we have the soft tissue. So those are things like your skin, your organs, your brain, anything really which is soft, which doesn't go hard. Again, you work out what your ailments are, then create a score. Same with blood sugars, and so we're looking for those things you feel when your blood sugars are out, those cravings, those craving for sweet things. And a common one is, people eat and then straight after food, especially sugary food, they just want to go and have a little nap. Okay, so we work out if these are going to be an issue for yourself. And then of course digestion. Okay, now you should always potentially start with digestion. No matter what your ailment is, sort your digestion out first, because if your digestion is not working properly, then all these great nutrients we have aren't going to do their job effectively. Okay, so we've got to nut out these typical problems we see every day, the allergies, the bloating, that heartburn. If we don't get rid of these issues, then we're going to make our healing much, much slower. So 2, we've got to use the appropriate pack. So we've now worked out what category we're under, and so now we match the pack with that category. So hard tissue is a healthy bone and joint. A soft tissue is a healthy brain and heart. Blood sugars is healthy blood sugar, and digestion is a healthy digestion pack. And that's really all we need to learn. If we can understand this category system, then we're going to have a lot more information available to us to help our clients, okay? Because we're teaching something that's duplicatable. My talks, what I've learned over the years, being a practitioner, is not duplicatable by everybody. And so we need to find tools that are duplicatable. And the 4 category systems is exactly that. 3, clean up your diet. We've got to have things which are good in our diet. You know, we need the eggs, the vegetables that don't create irritations, foods that are high in antioxidants, good proteins, you know, good salts. We're not talking table salts, the old chemical reaction salt we see today. We're talking good quality salt, good quality natural sea salts or Himalayan salts. You've got to go organic, okay? We've got to reduce the amount of poisons we're putting into our system. If we do not stop putting pesticides on foods, then the adverse effect down the line is going to be actually very bad. And drink plenty of water, good clean water, okay? Clean up the diet. So those are the do's. What about the don'ts? Don't use margarine. It's not margarine. It's an awful thing. If anybody knows the history of margarine. Carbonated drinks before mealtime. Those bubbles stop the absorption. Fried foods. Those oils are carcinogenic, and they help with rancidness in your system. Those processed meats, those nitrates, are doing a lot of harm to our body. Those processed sugars are the same. They're doing a lot of harm. The processed sugars, they hinder our immune system. They hinder our digestion. Okay, and stay away from those GMO foods. And go gluten-free. And oats is also gluten. And remember, it's not just about gluten. It's about the process that the grain went through as well. And it just compounds the problem of our gluten foods. Okay, so today's talk is about the healthy bone and joint pack, or healthy or hard category, sorry, the hard tissue category. Okay, so some symptoms we see when people have hard tissue problems: back problems, irritability, joint pain, kidney stones, blood pressure issues, muscle spasms, twitches, tooth decay. Okay, there's so many things that calcium is important for. And calcium is one of the major building blocks in our bone kit. So hard tissue. So we're talking about that joint. So we're talking about everything around that joint. We're talking about that tendon, the bone, okay, the cartilage. There's so many things in there, the blood vessels. Okay, so taking a closer look inside those vessels, there's so many fine things to do, to look after, sorry. You know, so that's a good joint. And you can see there's a synovial fluid and there's a synovial membrane. Now that membrane actually protects a microplasma that can live in joints. So when we're trying to work with conditions like rheumatoid, then one of the problems we have is breaking through that synovial membrane. And of course, some of the nutrients we use can do that. And herbally, we've got some herbs that can do that. But the everyday antivirals and the antibacterials do not get through that membrane. Okay, so that's what makes it hard when we're trying to deal with rheumatoid issues. So hard tissue support. Okay, so what are we using? Glucogels. We're using CM Plus, the Osteo Mag if you're buying it out of America. The new Pyrrhic coming in. That new Pyrrhic is perfect for reducing inflammation. Some essential oils with a CM cream. There's always peppermint, trauma, and birch. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the Osteos. It comes in 2. It comes in a liquid and a powder. Taste varies depending on the person, and it really is dependent on the person. Some people say that the powder is just the yummiest thing, and others say the liquid is just the yummiest thing, and the powder is not. So it's each to their own. So Osteo, it's formulated to support bones and joints. It's enhanced with calcium, and it helps the body absorb better. It's a blend of calcium, magnesium, vitamin D, glucosamine sulfate, and those other bone-supporting nutrients. So it's packed with nutrients, especially that glucosamine. The glucosamine is like the knitting needles and it helps knit things together. So it gives the body a constant supply of nutrients. So it's going to make those tendons, those ligaments, much more stronger and resistant to stress. Glucogel. Glucogel comes in a liquid and it comes in a capsule, and they're slightly different. And even though they're helping with the inflammation of the joint and helping repair and knit things back together, they work slightly differently. So for years, Dr. Wallach has been talking about gelatin as part of his pig formula pack. Okay, that's the early days, the gelatin, and it's the gelatin which is it's a bit like the cement or the concrete in a foundation. Gelatin acts as that as well, and so all the little micronutrients come together and they're working with gelatin to form new tissue. So it's a ratio of 1-to-1 gelatin and glucosamine sulfate. Okay, so you can see the importance of always having gelatin in the system here. And people say, why do I need so many glucogel tablets? Well, partly is because the glucosamine are knitting needles and they're helping rebuild things, but the gelatin is the concrete. And you can see, so I tell a lot of people that maybe you can go to a good health clinic or a health shop and buy some extra gelatin and have that on the side. And so the liquid one is it's a pleasant natural flavour. Again, each their own. It's very hard to explain some of Youngevity's flavours, but it contains NSM, chondroitin, acetylmyostoliate, collagen, and then they're building blocks for tissue. Then we have the capsules. So the capsules are different in the sense that they've got a gelatin outer. So the liquid doesn't have gelatin as such. And so the capsules are the gelatin. And so that is the magic part of why we see that the glucogels work so well. So we use the liquid for inflammation. When we need to reduce the pain and reduce that inflammation, we will be using the liquid. Or on top of that, we use the capsules because of the gelatin, and that's part of the building block. So we tend to see more recovery work with the capsules than we do with the liquids, but they both have a certain role, okay? But the recovery definitely comes more so from the capsules. And there's a ratio we have, there's a dosing ratio. And it's 1 capsule per 5 kgs of body weight per day. Yes, for some people, especially the bigger people out there, you could be taking 20 to 30 a day. But when you start to take that sort of numbers, man, the benefits outweigh how much you take. And you only have to ask anybody in the Youngevity family who has been on a bone and joint supporting program to understand the benefits of therapeutic dosing and taking the glucogels to that level. And there's some great testimonies now out. CM cream. So CM comes again in 2 formats. It comes in a cream, a wonderful cream, and a capsule. Again, working 2 different principles. So the cream works externally. Okay, so it's helping to penetrate into the tissue deep down into the epidermis, down into the muscle. The CM cream is super, super fine, very fine. So it just goes deep. And it's got the acetylmyostoliate. Now, acetylmyostoliate actually is the anti-inflammatory component of fish oil. Okay, so fish oil, we take fish oil for its anti-inflammatory purposes, but the ingredient in it is acetylmyostoliate. And of course, it's one of our prime ingredients in this. And Longevity have painted a brand called Celadrin, and that's a Longevity little brand, and that's a proprietary blend of essential fatty esters. And esters just means when you break a fat down, there's lots of esters involved, and esters make chains. Okay, so there's lots of esters, and these esters are anti-inflammatory. So it helps being a cream, it helps lubricate the joint, okay, and it softens those arteries. It's an immune modulator, so it's going to help with the body's ability to heal. It helps repair the cartilage. It's hydrating of the skin, and it increases the level of collagen in the skin. And so that's where your toning, the elasticity comes in. Okay, so a very good product. I think anybody who's got joint problems, this is part of your medicine kit. You should use it in the early days liberally. There's a word, liberally. Okay, just put plenty on, a couple of times a day, and then as the longevity program starts to work, you'll be able to use less and less and less. Now, unfortunately, creams don't go super deep. They don't go into that hip bone and around the internal sides. So we have another product. Whoops, go back one. I've missed a slide. I have missed a slide. So we have another product called CM Plus. So CM Plus is a capsule, and the capsule is specific more for internal use. So those people who have that internal pain, that internal spine pain, that internal hip pain, okay, you take the CM Plus or the CM capsules for that. Again, another one to have on hand all the time. Pyrrhic just landed in Auckland. This is an unbelievable product. Okay, so it should be available for sale, I think, early next week or sometime next week. We've got to get the container organised. But Pyrrhic is a natural anti-inflammatory. It's part of our Pro range or Pro line range, and it's a cutting-edge herbal supplement that delivers superior antioxidant active using certified organic turmeric. And that makes a massive difference. Being organic for starters, and it's certified, so it's top quality. Pyrrhic delivers 95% of concurables, I can't even get that word out, an enhanced organic capsule. So what that really means is that when we use herbs, we make a tea, we make an infusion, we make a tincture out of them, okay? There's only so much the body can absorb. And when it comes to turmeric, it's actually very hard for the body to absorb turmeric. And we've got to use things like lipids or oils to help the body absorb it into the system. And so for most people, when you bought a turmeric supplement, you really only got about 20 to 30% of that turmeric. And so we have one in the clinic I work, competitors one, it's a practitioner range, and they use 500 milligrams of turmeric in their product, and they can only deliver 95 milligrams out of that 500 milligrams. So, you know, that makes, and we can deliver 475 out of our 500 milligrams. So that's almost a whopping 4 to 5 times stronger than my practitioner one. So yes, it's a very good product and a very strong product. So being organic, they have more phytonutrients than the non-organic ones. So again, a lot more beneficial to the body. Now this is just cutting edge. This is where longevity is going with its supplement technology. Now we saw it when the Beyond Tangy Tangerine came out. Then the Beyond Osteo came out. They're just improving things left, right, and centre. And of course, Killabiotic. Now people go, what on earth does Killabiotic have to do with joints? Okay, well there's a microplasma that can live inside your joint. And for anybody who's had rheumatoid, you would understand what the microplasma is. Okay, so the microplasma is what, partly, not all the time, but it's a big contributor, can grow as it's producing toxins. It releases, grows, and calcifies. This toxin calcifies and starts to disform the joint. And when the joint disforms, we start to see these disformations in the limbs, fingers, toes, can be anywhere. So the Killabiotic is a great product for helping the body's immune system to overcome some of these nasty things that throw in us. So we have it part of our rheumatoid package to try and see if we can get on top of that pathogen. So Killabiotic, it's a proprietary blend, so it's immune enhancing. When we're talking about the body breaking down, whether it's cancer, whether it's these microplasms, we're talking about the body's an immune system, okay? Or the immune system's breaking down, or the immune system's attacking itself. So it's all about the immune system. So the Killabiotic is a great product for helping with enhancing that immune system. It's got those mushrooms in it. It's got colostrum in it, bee pollen. You know, the bee pollen comes from the Brazilian bees, and so the populace is what lives on the outside of the hive. It's like it's antifungal, antibacterial. It protects the hive. As the bees go in and out of the hive, they bring in bugs and bits and pieces. And so to protect the hive, they produce this thing called propolis. Spit it out. Okay, and so that's where it comes from. We use it in our herbal shop also for helping to enhance the immune system, especially with the colds and flus. But this is also jam-packed of these mushrooms. There's a lot of research gone into mushrooms today, and there's some real anti-cancer mushrooms out there, and Longevity has done well by following suit. So we've got the reishi mushroom and the shiitake mushroom. These are all immune enhancing mushrooms, okay, and we're lucky to have them in our products. We also have, it also has the olive leaf, and there's a lot of new study come out now on olives and how it's antimicrobe, which means antibacterial, antifungal, etc. Good for the immune system, of course, populous. It's also got cane fruit, garlic, and we also know how good garlic is for the immune system, and ginger, because we've got to get that circulation working. If we don't have circulation working, then the nutrients and the things we're doing to our body doesn't get to the right place. And of course, it's got the immune supporting properties of the colostrum. Okay, so just coming to an end, remember the best way to learn is to educate, and we have some awesome tools for education. Okay, so whether it's product you want to know, you know, we've got the Healing is Easy. It's just good information about products, health challenges, dosing. The Longevity audio catalogs, there's 3 of them. It gives you a good breakdown of what products and health elements they go with. Selenium, of course. Digestion. You know, if anybody says, what's the first CD I should get? Well, obviously the first CD is Dead Doctors. You know, the second CD, I reckon, is Healing is Easy, or Why is the World So Sick, #2. We've got to understand our digestion, okay? So they're really important to take on board. My third CD of choice is Healing is Easy, okay? Understanding dosing, understanding therapeutic uses of our product, okay? So all of these CDs can be purchased either in Australia or New Zealand, or from the Longevity warehouse. Just email us at ygytools@my90forlife.biz. Well, thank you very much, guys. I do appreciate your time here today. We're going to now open the floor up for Q&A. So just give me a few seconds to switch over.